Today on Unauthorized Personnel, we're back at the Cresson State Correctional Institution for the second part of our two-part episode. The Cresson State Correctional Institution was built in the early 1910s and was opened in 1913. Colloquially known as the SAN, this hospital was one of the largest tuberculosis sanatoriums in Pennsylvania. The pastoral surroundings, peace and quiet, beautiful scenery, and breathtaking vistas were very popular with city dwellers who needed a place to rest and recuperate after having been diagnosed with tuberculosis. The sanatorium was converted into multiple hospitals and institutions over the years, until in 1983, the land was transferred to the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections, and the former hospital grounds were converted into a prison. Cresson State Correctional Institution opened in 1986 and closed in 2012. We are joined today by our friend and our guest explorer, Keary. Join us as we explore this enormous complex. Okay.
This is the shop, the bathroom.
Oh, whoa. This
is 2000, let's say 2001.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, these were clearly the toilets over here.
Yeah. There's one of those stainless steel showers in there.
Privacy is a luxury that you don't get here.
Yes, definitely.
You got the shower cells back here. This was probably all these shower cells.
Yeah.
And they ripped them out. This is probably more for like the prisoners who needed less security, less violent. Yeah. Yeah, apparently. That's Keary. Captain Beep over there.
Captain Beep?
Yep. Frowny face?
It's a meh face.
Meh.
Wait. Did I say urine? What?
It does.
Fluorine?
Urine room.
Oh, they're
That's
their blood test.
Their piss tests. They're urine sample cups.
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
That's wild.
Yeah. Some woodwork going on there. This is a bit different from the last one.
Yep, these are electronically closing doors. You did something wrong.
Wow.
So that's what all those buttons were for. They electronically closed.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, these are some
But they're very worn.
interesting showers up here that I haven't seen elsewhere on the premises. These aren't the same
as the showers that they. Probably. These ones had a sink and a toilet in the cells, whereas the ones in the J building didn't. You know, it still kind of smells vaguely soapy.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking that too. Weird.
Like you can kind of smell a little bit of the soapiness near the showers and stuff.
I bet it's power in.
Yeah. Those were,
That's the L.
they were all powered locks,
All
powered doors.
closing doors.
Yep.
It's a little phallic.
It's like, oh, I see. It's like a face. Wow.
Over here. I know that gets real cheap.
Soccer pads. Yeah. Slightly used.
I bet they're all sweaty.
Probably. And moldy.
Yeah.
You gotta have an obligatory weight room in a prison somewhere. Keary's just having fun with the bocce balls.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Rolling back on its own.
You didn't level the floor, damn it.
Correct.
I love flipping around you.
The answer is germs.
But if you worked your way up, you were allowed to learn a trade, like maintenance trades.
Yeah.
So you probably had to stay in here to get your tools.
This is a bizarrely painted room.
This used to be a morgue.
This is all like
Yep.
ground and sky in here.
Yeah. It almost looks like a daycare.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely picking up on that.
Kind of got like the little light mural thing.
I get.
Oh. This is definitely like a print shop.
Oh, yeah.
The anvils, or not anvils, but the work stuff.
Or were they clamps?
Yeah, they're like those big clamps.
Oh, okay.
In the
Yeah.
middle where you hammer on.
Right. Okay.
Probably was like a training room.
Oh, this must be our area.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it looks like a tank.
Men's toilet. Inmate toilet. What's that?
A lot of like
Wood carving, wood burning.
G. Looks like that's G Gibson guitar.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Sort of does.
Another tool closet. It's paint. All paint stuff.
Gotta put that small roller back where it belongs.
This is an elevator.
Wait, what?
Elevator.
Oh, you know why?
Is this an old elevator?
No, you know, it was at one point. This area was probably where they did, where they transported the bodies down here for embalming. And they used the elevator, the lift.
Yeah, this is a fake floor one.
Yeah, that's a lift.
Shaft.
Yeah, that's where the elevator was for the bodies.
And it would take it down to the tunnel. We are in the tunnel.
Yeah, we're down in the lower level here. This, and you can tell too, like, because all the floors in here are tile.
Yeah.
So these were like mortuary rooms.
Yeah, they didn't really do too much down here except they gave room in the utility rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, these must have been like embalming. This is all.
I wonder if they even bothered embalming.
I guess it probably depends on whether or not the person had family that wanted to have them preserved, and
That's definitely a hospital wardroom.
this was definitely a morgue room. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's definitely a maintenance.
Like you can see that the
hospital floor.
right. Yeah, this is the terrazzo and the tile walls that they've painted over.
Yeah.
Like this was totally an embalming room.
Definitely embalming. So we probably shut the door to the lock.
See, we thought this was a tunnel entrance.
Check it out. It goes all the way back to the brick wall back there.
Uh-huh.
Or concrete wall.
I think it might lead to the tunnel. I don't know.
Too much of a drag. It has to be done.
No,
Just small
It's-
holes over the top for the
they walled it off.
Lay down, take a little surfboard. I heard they're really comfortable. You want to say Vince? Ooh, Steve, the hanging paint,
Yeah.
long hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
This is definitely.
It's just almost exactly like my old dorm in college.
It is. I think they probably were starting to get this ready in rehab for more of the prison,
Like,
and they never finished.
yeah, these were like
Yeah, because this all looks like newer product.
newer construction.
Yeah.
This might have been done during the 80s.
This is crazy.
Shit, this stuff looks like it's from the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like this aluminum.
Yeah.
Oh, this Marlite board.
Yeah.
This is like what they use in trailer rooms.
Yep. Oh, this is the kitchen and dining. Cool. I'm like kind of stoked to see what kind of kitchen they had in here.
Wow.
Because I have a feeling it was ginormous.
Sloppy Joe Day. That's all I care about.
Mexican pizza day. Wow. This was.
Meal prep.
Oh, this was this was the dining hall in here.
Get in line.
You
And then
can
there's like a little hole where they put their trays.
you can tell this was the dining hall because of all the floor craters.
Portions of this were built starting in 1912.
Wow.
So obviously.
So that was clearly original tuberculosis hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was early 1900s.
So we're not even in the old section. This is all original.
Oh, this was an addition?
Yeah.
But okay, so but it's not all. This isn't all old yet.
No, I think this is 6 and the other building's number 5.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is another mess hall over here. They even got like the pictograms of like the dishwashing implements.
Again, you gotta remember, everything could be a weapon.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of scary because we don't think that way.
We don't, and that's just it. Like when you're in a situation where it's like little more like kill or be killed.
Right.
That's kind of a scary thing to think about. This was clearly a dishwasher area.
I wonder why this was locked.
An elevator?
Yep. I think we're in the
This is the older building.
older part of the building.
Yeah, this is definitely older. Oh, ovens. That's an oven. Oh, whoa.
Is it one of the conveyor ones?
Yes, it is.
It
It's
is.
it's a motorized
Yeah, because-
rotisserie oven.
Yeah, look. And the motor's over here. Damn.
That's a big ass rotisserie.
Look at the back seat. You can't even get your ass cheek on the back. That's a seat.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, talk about an uncomfortable, non-ergonomic way to sit, huh? When you sign out, you must turn in a razor. Okie dokie.
I did actually smell stale food.
That, like over here.
Yeah, it smells like onions and grease.
Onions and grease. Yep. These are fryers.
Dry aged steaks.
Yeah, they got some big ass fryers.
Did you guys go up in here?
The overlook. Something stinky right about here.
It's probably that. It smells like
Yeah.
no doubt there's grease in here.
Yeah, this is, we haven't seen this.
This is the old part.
Yeah. Ooh.
Vacation boxes. Oh.
Storage for cooking utensils.
I wonder if that's
Yeah.
oh, look at it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this was like for the machinery, for the mixers.
Mixer parts.
Right. Oh, how cool is that? Ice cream scoops. They had plenty of those. Wow.
Well, they also use them probably for mashed potatoes. and stuff.
Probably, yeah. Ladles. No shortage of ladles or spoodles.
Hey, we're missing a couple of spatulas.
I'm missing a spoodle.
That's a
That's what they have a spoodle on the wall over here behind you.
Yeah.
That's where they got it labeled. You see it, spoodle, right in the middle on the bottom.
Hey! It's a spoon and a ladle.
It's a spoodle. It's like a spork,
Yeah.
but
That's great.
but not. What a cool looking stone hallway.
After having explored this gigantic complex for a total of almost 8 hours, we realized that there were still plenty of buildings that we'd have liked to explore, but simply ran out of time. This place is currently being preserved, and we are extremely grateful that this place is being well taken care of. From our perspective, this place has quite a bit of dark history attached to the property. And yet, the incomparable beauty of the surrounding land makes for a unique and unforgettable experience. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you again on the next episode of Unauthorized Personnel.